Okay, welcome back. So we are with the chapter genetics. Okay, so today we'll study about genetics, that is sex determination, whether a child will be a son or a daughter. Okay, whether the baby will be a son or a daughter, that we can check by using sex determination. Okay, so what is sex determination? Sex determination is to determine the sex, the gender of the baby. Okay, now let's see. Sex of a child depends upon the kind of sperm that fertilize the egg. Okay, this will depend on the kind of sperm that fertilize with the egg. If you remember, we had seen that in female it is X and X. Chromosomes are X and X, the sex chromosome. Whereas in males it is X and Y. Okay, so when X and X separate, X and X is diploid and the sperm or egg they are haploid, means they will have only one set of chromosome. So when egg is formed, all the eggs will have only X and X because they have X chromosome. So all the eggs will have one X chromosome, all the eggs. But what happens in case of males? In case of males, they have X and Y. So half of the sperms which are formed will have X chromosome and half of the sperms which are formed will have Y chromosome. Okay. So you are getting two different types of sperms. One with X bearing, that is XX chromosome, one with Y chromosome. But female produce only one types of egg. They all will have X chromosome. So here it is important to know that XY, XX determines the sex. So what about egg cells? We have already discussed. So what will happen if X is fusing with egg? If X fuses with egg, X sperm, it will be XX. So it will be a female child. What will happen if Y sperm fuses with egg? If Y fuses with egg, it will be XY and it will be a male child. Here you can see parents, father will have XY, the last set of chromosome, that is sex chromosome. Mother will have XX. So sperm, if you separate them chromosome, you will get X and Y sperm. Whereas in mother, you will get both X and X. Now this crisscross connection will tell you what will happen when it is daughter and when it is son. So if this X fuses with this X, you get XX, so daughter. This X fuses with this X, you get daughter. Y fuses with X, you get XY son. Y fuses with X, you get XY son. Okay, so this is how the sex is determined. Okay? Here you can clearly see the sperm. If the sperm is X and it will fuse with egg, egg is always X. So you'll get XX, the last set of chromosome, that is sex chromosome. It will be a female. If the sperm Y and egg is always X, so you'll get XY, which is the male. So it is actually the male determines the sex because male have two different sets of chromosome. Okay, males X fuses with X will give female. Males Y fuses with X, it will give male. Okay, okay. Chromosome carrier of genes. Okay. Now we have noticed earlier dog, crayfish, and potato. They have same number of chromosome, that is 78, but still they are completely different from each other. So all species have fixed number of chromosome. Okay. Dog, potato, crayfish, they have 78 chromosome, but they are totally different. That means chromosome will not determine the character. Okay, there is something else. So does body function depends on chromosome number? No. So the physical appearance, body functions, behavior, etc. depends on genes, okay, which are on the chromosome. There are special sets of DNA called as genes which are on the chromosome. So chromosome is just the carrier of the gene. It is not the gene. It is just carries genes. So there are some genes, there are non-genes. This gene word was coined by Wilhelm Johnson 1909. Okay. Now let's see the definition of genes and genome. Okay, so genes are specific part, DNA segments of a chromosome. Genes are specific part, they are segment of chromosome which determine the hereditary characteristics. So gene is a part of a DNA of a chromosome. Okay. There are around 20,000 genes. In your books, it is mentioned as 19,000. And in Google, it is showing 20 to 25,000. Some are showing 80,000 because they are still trying to find out the genes. Genome is the full complement of DNA, including all the genes and intergenic regions of an organism. Genome is the full set of DNA, the entire DNA. On DNA, there are some segments which code for protein, which acts as gene. And there are some segments which do not code for protein, do have no function. Okay. And these are called intergenic regions. Here you can clearly see what is gene and genome. Genome is the entire set of chromosome, all the set of chromosome, all the DNA which is wound to form chromosome is the genome. But gene is a part of a DNA and it is indirectly a part of a chromosome. Okay, so you all got what is the difference between gene and genome. So genome is the full set of DNA including all the genes and non-genes or intergenic regions. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, let's see progress check. The total number of pairs of chromosome in each body cell in human is, now they have asked number of pairs, so you cannot write 46. It is 23 pairs. Total number of pairs of autosomes in humans, pairs is 22 pairs. Okay, not 44. A certain couple got only 4 daughters in a row and no son. Does it mean that the husband does not produce any Y bearing chromosome? No, it produces. This is probability. Chances are 50-50%. If the Y chromosome fuses, then will be female. Okay. Now genes and their alleles. Allele A, allele ES. This will do next time. We'll stop at progress check.